First case on the docket, State versus Haley Sullivan. Charged with delivery of methamphetamine, unlawful use of a communication device. Okay, ma'am, I've appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You're here for an arraignment. And how does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor. Would like to be heard on bond.
Okay, go right ahead.
Judge, currently she has a $2,500 bond. She has lived in this area for 6 years. She is unemployed at this time, but she does have a 2-year-old son who is just taken into the custody of the state. So she would like to get out and be able to tend to that matter. I have discussed with her the conditions of bond will normally be that she not use or possess drugs, of course, and that whatever requirements the court puts on her, she will have to comply with. We'd ask the court consider a $1,500 bond in lieu of the $2,500 that's currently in place.
Does she have any prior convictions that you're aware of?
She has a felony conviction. Looks like 2 previous felony convictions.
Judge, it's my understanding that those were in the early 2000s, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I'm not positive. I haven't seen her criminal history, but
One of those was in 2000. These are 2012. This lady is charged with 2 Class C felonies that are punishable by 10 years, a maximum of 10 years. She's also charged with a Class B misdemeanor, and she's also a $2,500 bond, Your Honor, is wholly reasonable.
I set the bond at $2,000. She probably needs to be trying to do better by her child.
thank you, Your Honor.
At any rate, let's see. Well, we'll send out a scheduling order. It's not with us this morning.
What was that case number, Your Honor?
I don't think I said it, did I? 16-387.
Thank you, Judge.
That'll be all in your case, ma'am. Thank you. State versus Rebecca, is it Knapp or Knapp? Knapp. Possession of controlled substances, methamphetamine with purpose to deliver. Paraphernalia, that's 16-385. 16-382, forgery. Ms. Knapp, I've reviewed your affidavit and appointed the Public Defender's Office to represent you. And in 16-382, looks like she's appearing for an arraignment. How does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. And in 16-385, they also appearing for an arraignment.
Not guilty, Your Honor. We'd like to be heard on bond in both cases.
Okay, give me just a second.
Will this stay in your division, Judge, or how are we going
We'll have to transfer one, but it can, yes.
Oh. Right. If we could put Mrs. Knapp on the Division 4 docket, since Mr. Knapp will be on your docket, there may be a
Okay.
conflict there, so.
Very well. Bond, yes.
Your Honor, I believe that she's currently being held on approximately $20,000 bond on both charges. We would submit that a $2,500 bond concurrent in both cases is sufficient to secure her appearance before the court. She lives here with her husband, and they have 5 children between the 2 of them. Obviously, they're both incarcerated right now, so it's putting the custody of those children in jeopardy. However, her mother-in-law is keeping them right now. They live in a home that is owned by her mother-in-law, who has lived in the Mountain Home area for over 40 years. She is unemployed at this time. Rebecca, I think I was confusing you with another case. You don't have 5 kids. She has 2 children. They're 4 and 8 years old, Your Honor. Again, I think that would be sufficient to secure her appearance here before this court with these cases pending, or before Division 4.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, in the first case, the forgery in the second degree, this lady, there's 10 counts to that. This lady essentially took somebody's debit card information and stole, was able to steal approximately $2,000 worth of, using about 10 transactions during the latter half of August of this year. So we have a victim in that case that's been out at least $2,000, probably more like $2,200. The second case appears to be possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of drug paraphernalia, D and B felony. The judge, this occurred on a probationary parole compliance check. I don't know which person in that house was on parole or
I think
probation.
it's her husband, I think.
Okay. I got the possession of controlled substance, the methamphetamine charge, that bond looks high to me. That is a $15,000 bond. The bond on the forgery, the 10 counts of forgery, that's a $3,500 bond. That actually strikes me as being low. But judge a $5,000 bond seems like it would fit the criteria. At least it matched, at least part of what's been taken from the folks. As victims of the fraud, alleged fraud.
I'll set the bond on both cases, one bond, $5,000. And she should reappear before Judge Webb on December 8th. What time's he start? I never can remember. 9:30.